Now for plot 536 Tesi Plaza, first floor, Abakaliki Expressway, MNA Enugu, opposite Immigration Office, Enugu State. If you want Pimpimos for social media, our handle now Crystal Garden Estate for any platform where you want from Pimpimos. If you want Tanana House, our numbers are 090-699-38837, 090-699-38837 or 080-365-84214, 080-365-84214. You fit also contact us on our website, will be www.crystalgardenestate.com. Land no dey wait for person, but na land dey save person.
Is registered Crystal Garden Estate.
On my way, if yeah, this is Honorable Ike Mazeli, material Oyenwegu, chilling with the hugest man alive. Please keep listening to Radio Sapienza Makagini. Thanks.
When trouble come your way, everybody run away. When money come your way, everybody busy body. Yeah, na me. 21 week, live and direct on Sapienza 95.3. Fan zone, 9 we day with huge man. Okay, Balawa.
Here's videos. 1 o'clock, give me forget. 1 p.m. Radio Sapienza. Radio Sapienza. 1 o'clock, give me forget. 1 p.m. Radio Sapienza. Feel the magic in the air. We don't just find a life. Feel the joy in the air. We the mother's just find a life. Cause we won't do.
Wow. I'm here. Today is the first day in the month of September 2025. We're finally in the Ember months. Oh yes. It was like yesterday. We all said Happy New Year to one another. Right now, you're already nearing the end of the year. And it's awesome. I want to say Happy New Month, everybody. In fact, if you can hear the sound of my voice right now, ladies and gentlemen, fear not. 2025 will never see your end. Indeed, you conquer 2025. From now to the end of the year, it's going to be yours. Testimony after testimony. Breakthrough after breakthrough. I don't know what it is you're believing God for. Money is going to be yours. Fruit of the womb is going to be yours. What is it? Promotion is going to be yours. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much for joining the party once again. Especially on a day like this. Today is the last day in the 2025-2026 summer transfer window. By 7 p.m. Nigerian time, Nabania or Nambeda, it will close, come, whether anybody likes it or not. Indeed, after 7 p.m., from 7:01, if you hear that any transfer happened, then know that the player doesn't have any contract with any football club. The only player you can sign outside of the transfer windows, either summer transfer window or winter transfer window, are players who are not under contract. Ndibu free agent. Free agent. So signing such a player will be something worse than panic buying. Honestly, let's celebrate the sponsors of the show, talking about Crystal Garden Estate. Crystal Garden Estate. Thank you, and thank you some more for the love and support you continue to show us every afternoon right here on our number one station radio.
They don't tell us, say, money no dey grow for trees. But they know that una say e dey grow for land. Now why Crystal Garden Estate will be the masters for land matter don't carry the ogbonge properties come your domot. Our plus size na correct 50 by 100. And we get them for Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, Asaba Delta State and Abuja. In case you want use eyes do Christmas for yourself, our site inspection na free of charge. We no dey charge anybody for site seeing. We go carry you go the land, make you checkmate am for yourself. Our office for Anambra na for 65 New Market Road, Onitsha, first floor, Gunga Building. Our office for Asaba, day 4, Nebisi Road, number 272, Nekoli Plaza. Our office for Enugu na for plot 536, Tesi Plaza, first floor, Abakaliki Expressway, MN Enugu, opposite Immigration Office, Enugu State. If you want Pimpimos for social media, our handle na Crystal Garden Estate for any platform where you want from Pimpimos. If you want Tanana House, our numbers are 090-699-38837. 090-699-38837 or 080-365-84214. 080-365-84214. You fit also contact us for our website will be www.crystalgardenestate.com. Land no dey wait for person, but na land dey save person.
Alana no you know Kunuka is registered. Crystal Garden Estate.
Huge man. Odogu.
Party for a matter. 95.3. No bad body, man. 95.3. Sapienza, no bad body, man. 95.3. No bad body, man. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the actions of last weekend, especially the 10 Premier League games we saw on Saturday and on Sunday, and of course, I'm going to be apologizing again. I got so many predictions wrong this time. In fact, last weekend was one of my worst, when it comes to predictions, honestly. Aston Villa, Unai Emery, you may not make heaven for what you did to me last weekend. Mikel Arteta, you definitely go to purgatory for what you did to me last weekend. Nottingham Forest is the worst. Against Commodore Simple West Ham United. Kaba Nottingham Forest 3-0 at the City Ground. God help me. Manchester City. Ngwongwe jimara ya kowasiala Pep Guardiola. Ngwongwe jimara ya kowasiala Nwako Mudioka. Alume completely. Who else? In fact, we're going to come to that in a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Let's first of all keep track of what is going on right now in the transfer window. So many deals flying over our heads. But I'm going to catch up. First of all, Arsenal, I've sold his Nelson. If I didn't sell him, he went on loan to Brentford. From one part of London to the other, from Ashburton Grove to the G-Tech. Agreement in place with a player. He's now on his way to have his medical in Cape Bazwa at the G-Tech. Now talking about the Brentford Stadium. For Manchester United, they have finally signed a goalkeeper. Few minutes ago, it was Emi Martinez that was making the rounds. Man United. I'm going to come to the player they sold to Aston Villa. But as part of that deal, we thought an agreement was on ground for Emi Martinez Emiliano Martinez, to go to Manchester United. It's of course one of the safest hands when it comes to the goalkeeping business in the United Kingdom. But that deal fell apart. What is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen? Man United have signed Senne Lammens. Senne Lammens is a Belgian goalkeeper. They have signed him already. Of course, he arrived Manchester United. He has had his medical, so he's now good to go. Yes, he's now Manchester United #1 goalkeeper, which means Alta Binder is #2. And Nwoki Ikwo Andre Onana is #3. And then, for Woken Sube, ladies and gentlemen, this guy in the village, so this guy, I'll advise him right now, please leave football, go back to Sube, Kijelebana, maybe soon at the land committee there. I'm talking about Erik ten Hag. Erik ten Hag, sacked by Manchester United not too long ago before Ruben Amorim came in. After the end of last season, he moved to Bayer Leverkusen. As I speak to you right now, this guy has set a record. He is the first human being to be appointed a manager and be sacked after 2 games in the history of the Bundesliga. Well, my dear brother, Obro, your fault. Obro, for you now, and you see, for now, to Adria, and Obro Baba Melia, So, please depart, carry your bags immediately, and run away from the Bay Arena. You're no longer needed. Now, one of the most interesting news is the fact that that's talking about Nicholas Jackson. In fact, last weekend was very dramatic. Landelab got injured. Chelsea, remember, we said it on Friday that Nwokenkwele Zunaka was going to Bayern Munich. Oh yes, Nwokenkwele Zunaka was on his way to Bayern Munich. In fact, Okpogondi Befa Nankwele, she said to see a canopy here and there. Maka Nkwagangu, that God has elevated him to Bayern Munich. It's an elevation because they must win a title every single year. The Bundesliga is their personal property. Sometimes they add the DFB Pokal to it. If they add the Champions League, then, oh, wonderful year. He was going to deputize for Harry Kane, who cannot be their only number 9. Opa Kisigabia, Omu Fugo. Okay, Luri Bariam. They called on the phone again. The child said, this is serious, I'm not joking. And said, please start coming back. Because that deal will no longer happen. Why? Landelap is injured. Remember, Chelsea had already loaned McGree out to Sunderland. And believe it or not, Nicholas Jackson said, no, I'm not coming back. I've never seen that before in football. Honestly. He said, no, I'm not coming back. In fact, his agent went on Instagram and wrote something. I wrote it on my page. I can't remember word for word what he wrote, but he said, we're already on our way to Bayern Munich. What are you talking about? We're not coming back. I'm like play. Ladies and gentlemen, McGree has been called back. Why? Because, well, first of all, what happened was Bayern Munich pulled out. Because they didn't want any problem with Chelsea, they pulled out. But Nicholas Jackson continued going. In fact, the news right now is that Jackson and Bayern Munich deal has not been called off. It can still happen. This is what I will go. Negotiations continue as Chelsea recall McGree from Sunderland because of lack of depth up front following the injury to Liam Delap. I don't know what you think. Nicholas Jackson wants to be begged. But I know Chelsea. Let's wait and see if that deal will happen, him going to Bayern Munich. But if the situation has changed, you know how to get back to me, please, ladies and gentlemen. Very important. Chakwa can check here. Okay, when some people here did faster than me, I must admit it. Honestly, lots and lots of guys here are faster than me. Okay, I'm on Patrick Ifedibar's messages now. Has Nicholas Jackson come back? No, he's not back. He's not back. Alome completely. Wait. We're going to go back and forth a lot because of these transfers. Okay, well, it's still pending, but it can happen. That's the truth. Let's continue very quickly because we must continue. Lots and lots of deals happening. The next one is, the biggest news in world football. Alexander Isak is finally a Liverpool player. We all knew it was a matter of time. Oh yes, it was a matter of time. Alexander Isak, he becomes the most expensive human being in United Kingdom history. Okay, I'm getting a message from Magistrate Nnamdi, all the way from the United Kingdom. And said Bayern Munich are now in talks for a permanent deal for Jackson. We are no longer talking about a loan move. A permanent deal for Jackson. This guy doesn't want to play for Chelsea anymore. Wow, okay, let's wait and see how that one pans out. But ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Isak is now a Liverpool player. Liverpool coughed out 130 million pounds for Alexander Isak. They've already paid 125 million. Wow. That's mind-blowing. Now let me say something to Liverpool fans. I appreciate the moves you guys have made this season, but some of these big money moves is difficult for the players to perform because of the pressure. Look at Florian Wirtz. That guy is still not very comfortable. The pressure is too much. Expectations is in high heavens, right? And now you're bringing Isak for 130 million. Well, what I know is that Mo Salah lost form. Since the end of last season when he renewed his contract, he lost form. So maybe Alexander Isak will now come and play from that right-hand side, until Mo Salah gets back to his best form, right? And then Hugo Ekitike will continue in that forward position because he's been scoring every single game. Believe it or not, he scored against Arsenal, but the goal was ruled out for offside. Oh yes, it was Florian Wirtz that created a space just on the edge of the 6-yard box, took a shot, and then the goalkeeper parried the ball. Hugo Ekitike hit it into the post, but it was disallowed for offside. I'm going to talk about that game in a bit. So, Alexander Isak is now a Liverpool player. Now, let's look at some of the most expensive signings United Kingdom football has seen. Remember Moses Caicedo? Oh, yes, Moses Caicedo that moved to Chelsea for 150 million pounds. Declan Rice moved for 105 million pounds. Jack Grealish, yes, Declan Rice from West Ham United to Arsenal. Jack Grealish moved from Aston Villa to Manchester City for 100 million pounds. Paul Pogba, 89 million pounds. Darwin Núñez, 85 million pounds. And what have you? Now, Alexander Isak is number one. Now, talking about transfers, Aston Villa have agreed to sign Jadon Sancho from Manchester United. Oh yes, Jadon Sancho from Manchester United.
Your boy Samuel Peace, DSB Music. One day for another 12:45. Monday is on the radio.
And guess what? Tottenham Hotspur have signed Randal Kolomwani on loan from PSG. Oh yes, an agreement is in place for Kolo Muani, scheduled for medical, authorized by PSG after loan move sealed right now. There is no buy option clause included. So he'll be back after the loan deal. What else is going on in the transfer window? Well, we need to start the show because if you want to keep track of the transfer window, then we'll say no other thing this afternoon on the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to results from last weekend games. I'm going to end with the Premier League games. So please hang in there. New Jersey. We're going to talk about your game. Man United. Man United first. Chelsea. Then Arsenal, Liverpool last. New Chelsea. But you guys did some brown envelope things under the table in the Chelsea. But we'll forgive you because we love you. But then I'm going to talk about your game last. Let's start from Sunderland versus Brentford. Sorry. Mistake. Let's start from the other Europe top 5 leagues. Then I'll end with the Premier League fixtures. Very, very important. Big up to Crystal Garden Estate. Crystal Garden Estate, thank you, and thank you some more for the love and support you continue to show us every afternoon right here on Sapiencia Fan Zone. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, another report have just come in. Another report. Oh, Manchester City have signed Donnarumma. Oh yes, Gianluigi Donnarumma, the PSG goalkeeper. Oh yes, Manchester City have signed him. Never mind the fact that James Trafford saved them last weekend. One might wonder why Hugman is talking about saving a Manchester City side that lost 2-1. Brighton came from behind to win that game. I watched that game. James Trafford made that scoreline respectable. If he had not pulled 4 to 5 saves in that game, Pep Guardiola would have left the post as the Manchester City manager last weekend, because they would have lost by 5 or 6-1. I'm telling you, Brighton were that good. But right now, Gigi Donnarumma is a Manchester City player. And of course, we say kudos to him. And of course, it's just been confirmed Nicholas Jackson is talking to Bayern Munich for a permanent deal, no longer a loan deal. Now let's bring you results. On Friday, Elche beat Levante 2-0. Valencia at the Mestalla Stadium were too good for Getafe. They beat Getafe 3-0. In the Bundesliga on Friday, Hamburg SV lost at home to St. Pauli 2-0. And of course in the Italian Serie A, Cremonese beat Sassuolo 3-2. Lecce lost at home to AC Milan 2-0. And of course in the French Ligue 1, Lens beat Brest 3-1. And of course, on Saturday, in the French Ligue 1, Lorient lost at home to Lille 7-1. Lille 7, Lorient 1. Imagine losing 7-1 in your own home, in front of your own fan base. Wow. Lille 7, Lorient 1. And of course, Nantes 1, Auxerre 0, Toulouse 3, Paris Saint-Germain 6, Toulouse 3, Paris Saint-Germain 6. Now, I said this during my preview on Friday, that Paris Saint-Germain have been a shadow of their former selves since the finals of that FIFA Club World Cup. They've been conceding goals. They conceded 3 against Chelsea. They almost lost the game against Tottenham Hotspur in the UEFA Super Cup. Came from behind. Their first 2 games in the French Ligue 1, narrow wins. And last weekend, ladies and gentlemen, they conceded 3. But then they outscored their opponent as usual, 6. Still on Saturday in the Italian Serie A, Bologna beat Como 1-0, Parma 1, Atalanta 1, Napoli 1, Cagliari 0, and of course Pisa, the new club, 0, AS Roma 1. In the Bundesliga, Augsburg came this close to upsetting Bayern Munich. Augsburg 2, Bayern Munich 3, Werder Bremen 3, Bayer Leverkusen 3, Stuttgart 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0, RB Leipzig 2, FC Heidenheim 0, Hoffenheim 1, Eintracht Frankfurt 3. In the La Liga, on Saturday, Deportivo Alaves 1, Atletico Madrid 1, Real Oviedo 1, Real Sociedad 0, Girona 0, Sevilla 2, and of course the game between Real Madrid and Real Mallorca was drama, and even more drama. What happened? 7 minutes into the game, Kylian Mbappe got a pass from around 25 yards. I've forgotten who laid that pass. And then he scored a beautiful goal. Or it was ruled out for offside. Shortly after that, a corner kick happened. And Muriqi scored from the corner kick for Mallorca. At that time, it was 1-0 in favor of Mallorca. And then on the 37th minute, Ada Gula, a pass from Dean Huijsen, was actually, I don't remember what happened. How that first goal happened. Yes, I remember. It was a long pass from the midfield down to the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, inside of the 18-yard box, to Dean Huijsen. Dean Huijsen controlled the ball, laid to Ada Gula, and Ada Gula scored in the 37th minute to make it 1-1. 1 minute after that, Federico Valverde picked out this my man, Vinicius Junior, on the center field. Vinicius Junior took the ball from there, ran all the way, beating players in front of him, got to the edge of the 18-yard box and beat the goalkeeper. Very beautiful goal. You see, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this before I tell you the rest of the story. I think money has really died football. It has killed football. Money. There are some talented players who no longer show their talent all the time. They pick their games. This guy is on £400,000 a week, thereabout, or 400 and something thousand pounds. Since he signed that contract, his football has been on and off, basically. You know, this guy is one of the best players in the world. Just last season, We're all clamoring for him to win the Ballon d'Or. He won the FIFA Footballer of the Year. But he's just been blowing hot and cold. If you watch some of his movements at times, you'll be like, why has this guy not won the Ballon d'Or? This goal is out of this world. Please try and see it. Shortly after that, Kylian Mbappe thought he had scored again. The goal was still ruled out for offside. In the second half, 55th minute, Arda Güler scored again. The goal was ruled out for a foul, and he beat up to the goal. Big ups to Real Madrid. They beat Mallorca 2-1. Then on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, in the French League 1, Lyon beat Marseille 1-0. Paris FC 3, Metz 2, Le Havre 3, Nice 1, AS Monaco 3, Strasbourg 2, Angers 1, Rennes 1. And of course in Italian Serie A, Lazio 4, Hellas Verona 0, Inter Milan 1, Udinese 2 at the San Siro. Inter Milan lost to Udinese. This season will really be interesting across Europe's top 5 leagues. Big boys are dropping points. Torino 0, Fiorentina 0, Genoa 0, Juventus 1. Then in the Bundesliga on Sunday, FC Cologne 4. Freiburg 1, Borussia Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park 3, Union Berlin 0, Wolfsburg 1, Mainz 5-1. And of course in the La Liga, Celta Vigo 1, Villarreal 1, Real Betis 1, Athletic Bilbao 2, Espanyol 1, Osasuna 0. And then the game between Rayo Vallecano and Barcelona. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona drew this game 1-1. Lamine Yamal scored from a penalty spot on the 40th minute. He won the penalty and he converted it. How did he win the penalty? This guy was dribbling in them Pamado inside of the 18-yard box, beat the first guy, moved the ball from the second guy, beat him again. The guy Bachania in Ordana and he converted the penalty. Then Barcelona missed a lot of chances. They had a lot of shots in this game. And then fast forward to the 67th minute, Fran Perez pulled one back for Rayo Vallecano. And then Barcelona drew that game 1-1. In this game, Barcelona had 7 shots on target, 4 shots off target, but their shots, total shots went to double figures. But then Rayo Vallecano were too good, and Barcelona lost this game. Oh, Barcelona didn't lose. They drew this game, sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the Premier League games. It's time to talk Premier League games. Don't forget I said I was going to talk about Chelsea last. I know Chelsea, Man United first, Chelsea, then I'll end with Liverpool last now. Let's start from the beginning. I predicted the game between Everton and Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux Stadium. I said Everton will win that game, or the best Wolves can do will be to get a draw. Why? David Moyes will always have the better of Vitor Pereira. Never mind. And Wolverhampton Wanderers started this season very poorly. Never mind, they are playing good football. But it's difficult for them to convert chances. They also lost a lot of players in this transfer window. So I knew Everton would be too strong for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But guess what? Jack Grealish was still the man of the match in this game. Just like their last game 2 weekends ago, where he led 2 assists. In this game again, he led 2 assists on the 7th minute. He was the one that found Beto for the first goal, Everton's first goal. And then the Wolverhampton Wanderers striker, Hichan, pulled one back to make it 1-1. And then Kenneth Roosevelt Hall found Ilman Ndiaye to make it 2-1. By halftime, it was 2-1. Fast forward to the second half, Jack Grealish found Kenneth Roosevelt Hall, who made it 3-1. Before the 78th minute, Rodrigo Gomez pulled one back to make it 3-2. So big ups to Everton. I got that prediction spot on. Everton beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 3-2. The next prediction, I failed woefully. Tottenham Hotspur versus AFC Bournemouth. Tottenham Hotspur versus AFC Bournemouth. It was Evan Nielsen that broke my heart there, because I went for a straight win for Tottenham Hotspur. Funny enough, this game happened at the Tottenham Stadium. The same Tottenham who were doing so well at the beginning of the season. In their last game before this one, they beat Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium 2-0 in a 100% class act performance. But in this one, I wonder how AFC Bournemouth were able to pull this one off. Evan Nielsen, I saw the goal from the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, inside of the 18-yard, just close to the 6-yard box. This guy took a shot that deflected off the Tottenham Hotspur defender and landed into the post. The goalkeeper didn't know what to do about it. And guess what? The goal was scored in the 5th minute. That was the undoing of Tottenham Hotspur. It continued to be 1-0 until the end of the game. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I got that prediction very, very wrong. The next one was Man United versus Burnley. Okay, let's leave Man United. Let's go to Leeds United versus Newcastle United. I went for a straight win for Newcastle United. Why? Because of their awesome performance against Liverpool last weekend. Not this weekend, the weekend before this one. And then in this game against Leeds United, ladies and gentlemen, Newcastle United didn't put a foot right. This game ended 0-0 at Elland Road. Too bad. Newcastle United, have now played 3 games with just 2 points. The next game is Brighton and Hove Albion versus Manchester City. Brighton versus Manchester City. Ladies and gentlemen, Brighton really gave Pep Guardiola a shocker. I said it last weekend, that football is leaving Pep Guardiola. It's time for Pep to throw in the towel and get away. Leave when you still can, sir. At first we said it was the absence of Rodri. Okay? As soon as I realized it was not about the absence of Rodri, I said it here on the show. It's time for Pep Guardiola to run away. Jurgen Klopp saw this coming. He ran away. Zinedine Zidane ran away 2 times. Don't wait till you get sacked. In Barcelona, you were never sacked. Yes, you fell out with the club president at that time in 2012, but you walked away. Nobody sacked you. You went to Bayern Munich, the same thing. Nobody sacked you. It was you that walked away to Manchester City. You came to England, broke all the records, won the same treble of Premier League titles like Sir Alex Ferguson did, and even added one. Won 4 on a bounce, won a treble of the league, the FA Cup, and the Champions League the same season. So you have done it all. It's time for you to go. Don't leave. Don't rub your legacy in the mud, sir. Please. Ladies and gentlemen, what happened in this game? I'll tell you very quickly. Manchester City had James Trafford, the guy that saved them in this game. This game would have been very embarrassing. In goal, Matheus Nunes, who is never a right back. They're managing him there as a right back. Kusenov and John Stones were the central defenders. Ryan Al-Nouri, back to the squad, was the left back. Rodri, the central midfielder. Flanked by Bernardo Silva and Tijani Regenders. And of course, Oscar Bob, the left winger, right winger, Omar Mamouche, out-and-out striker, Erling Haaland. Meanwhile, big up to Omar Mamouche. That guy ran the show from the middle of the park, because at some point the middle was very, very open. Nobody was there. On the 34th minute, Omar Mamouche was inside of the 18-yard box, beat the defense in a very, very tight position, led a pass. I thought it was goal mouth scramble. It was not. He actually calculated his move. Just tipped the ball a little for Erling Haaland, who jumped onto the ball very close to the goalkeeper, stopped the ball into the post. Beautiful goal. But even before they scored this goal, Brighton on our for talent more. But after they scored this goal, oh, ladies and gentlemen, Brighton became very, very angry. We're bugging that ball. By halftime, it was still 1-0. Fast forward to the second half, Brighton now lost it. They outplayed these guys to the point that Pep Guardiola at some point was scratching his head, he was covering his face, he would stand up, sit down. I think his nurse should check his BP if she has not done that yet, because that guy, I'm going to go mad in the second half. First of all, it was James Milner, who converted a penalty in the 67th minute. The Manchester City defender pulled out his hand. Then the ball hit his hand, and it was a penalty in the 57th minute. James Milner converted from the penalty spot. And then on the 89th minute, sorry. It was a one-on-one. Gruder, Brajan Gruder, a one-on-one. But then if you see the move before the one-on-one, I've forgotten this guy's name. That Kanejika huge man. The guy did a 1-2 with Kaoru Matoma. Mitoma. The ball ended with Mitoma. Mitoma laid a through pass to Brajan Gruder. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Still beat the Manchester City defense before he scored. Beautiful goal. At that time, it was 2-1. Brighton still missed a few more chances before the end of the game. They came from behind to beat Manchester City 2-1. Yes, it was Minte. Oh, thank you so much, Patrick Ifediba. Oh, Minte, that's his name. Patrick just reminded me. Thank you very much. He was the one that did that link-up play with Mitoma. And then they laid to Gruder. Then one-on-one, beat the defense, scored. Awesome goal. I apologize for that, Okwa. The Manchester City prediction, I got it very wrong. Right? Please pardon me. Let's go to the next one. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham United. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the Okwa in this one is unpardonable. The same West Ham United that lost back to back. They considered 5 goals against Chelsea in the London Derby. They considered 3 second-half goals against common, ordinary, simple, newly promoted Sunderland in the first game. Graham Potter. Coaching. I can coach better than Graham Potter. That is the same guy that came up against Nuno Espirito Santo. If you listen to the show on Friday, I was shouting, Nuno Espirito Santo, larger than life, almost qualified his team for the Champions League last season, spent a long time, top position on the league, blah, blah, on Friday. Please pardon me. I'll pay a fine for this one. I'm probably from Nalon 1,000 naira. I'm telling you, I'll pay a fine for the Okwanka. Nah, ladies and gentlemen, against everybody's expectations, these guys scored 3 goals from the 85th minute to the 91st minute. From the beginning of that game, Nottingham Forest held the game, controlled the game, controlled the midfield, created chances. Throughout, nothing happened up until the 85th minute. Jarrod Bowen scored the first goal. Lucas Paqueta, Jarrod Bowen from the edge of the 18-yard box, left footer, very beautiful goal. Lucas Paqueta completed a penalty. And then 2 minutes later, Callum Wilson headed in from the off cross. And that was the end of Solomon Grundy. Ladies and gentlemen, how about Nottingham Forest 3-0? I apologize. Now, Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Crystal Palace versus another Okwa. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa, another Okwa. This same Aston Villa have not won a game. Have they won a game this season? Because I know their first game against Newcastle United was a draw. Oh, yes. They were 10 men, though. Forgotten what they played the weekend before last. But I know it's not a very good result. So I said Unai Emery cannot go 3 weekends without a win. That was why I gave them a win against Crystal Palace. Another reason I gave them a win against Crystal Palace was because a better chance. Yes, they lost last weekend. Because somebody should remind me, I beg. They lost last weekend. They have 1 point. They are 19th on the Premier League table. If the league ends now, Aston Villa will get relegated. So I said, after, not winning a game, Unai Emery is still a very good manager. But I said Crystal Palace cannot win this game. They have lost a lot of players already, including their best player in Eberechi. But I didn't know Oliver Glasner was about to play his best game this season. I'm telling you. Jean-Philippe Mateta was the guy that scored the first goal. It was a penalty. Converted the penalty beautifully well. Second goal was Maguire from the edge of the 18-yard box. If you see shots, that was not a shot. That was an R2 with a lot of force. And if you know what an R2, opening in our game, shot and You just be rolling like that, but the goalkeeper can only look and wave. Twice a fellow aeroplane, that when we were small. I'm telling you, that kind of shot. Beautiful. And I'm like, this guy's supposed to be a centre back. What happened? Meanwhile, after the game, Oliver Glasner said, if we are to succeed in this game, do not allow Maguire to leave. But Liverpool still want to snap him up. And still want to sign him before the end of this transfer window. That's where the problem matters. And of course, the last goal was by Ismail Assar on the 78th minute. Ladies and gentlemen, at the Villa Park, in front of thousands and thousands of Aston Villa fans. Crystal Palace beat them 3-0. Apologies, Mebele. 95.3. Now on to the big boys. To the big boys, I'll start from Manchester United. Against Burnley at Old Trafford. Hey, Man United. For the first time in a very long time, we're playing the Man United anthem on the show. In fact, for the first time this season. Because their first game, disappointing, against Arsenal. After Binder's error or the referee's error, that debate will go on forever. Their second game was at Craven Cottage against Fulham. Bad draw. In fact, last 15 minutes of that game, Fulham are Piawusi Gofa. They now went to Green Beans. Green Beans. On the Melifa. Na Carabao Cup. So going into this game, I was not sure. Because I would have just closed my eye and said, it's straight away for Man United. But I asked for your help. Remember, on Friday, I said, please tell me, who do you think will win this game? And thank you to all of you. Because you all said that Man U will win. Or the best Burnley can get will be a draw. And I went with your prediction. Manchester United to win or draw. Now what happened? I'll tell you very quickly. The manager is still insisting on his 3-4-2-1 formation. That formation, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a manager, I've never been one before, but at least I have eyes. And I'm seeing that it is not working. It has never worked since his first game against Ipswich Town at the Portland Stadium last November till now. In all the games they have won, it has never worked. They always rely on individual brilliance or mistake from just something that for me, they have never really shut teams down with that formation. But you want to take it again. Lenny Euro, left centre back, Binder in goal, Luke Shaw, left centre back, Lenny Euro, right centre back, Matt is the central defender, Diogo Dalot, left wing back. This guy is the right wing back or the right back. But then he played left wing back. Amad Diallo, right wing back. That has never worked. Casemiro was a defensive midfielder. Bruno Fernandes, who we have always shouted is not a central midfield, was in the central midfield. Mason Mount and Brandon Bumo were the two guys up front. And then Matis Kuna was the out-and-out striker. What happened in this game? On the 20th minute, Man United thought they had won a penalty. But then the penalty was overturned by VAR. 27th minute, free kick from the right-hand side, just very close to the right corner flank. Bruno Fernandes from there picked out Casemiro in the 6-yard box. Casemiro with a powerful header. That guy is one of the best guys when it comes to area balls in the Premier League. Nodded the ball straight at the bar. The ball came back, hit Josh Cullen at the back, and then entered the post. That was how Man United scored their first goal. And then what happened? On the 55th minute, it was a cross from the right-hand side, by a guy called Jacob Brown Larson. There was a guy that crossed the ball, and then Lyle Foster stopped it into the post. And Man United considered their first goal. Go and check how that cross came in, and the state of the defense when that cross came in. That three-man back line is not working. They have very good players at the back. Luke Shaw on his day is one of the best left backs in the Premier League. Never mind the fact that he lost some last season. I'm telling you, we all know this. Lenny Yoro has proved to be a very good signing for Manchester United. But that setup at the back, Mattis de Ligt, has not been bad this season. But that three-man setup at the back is either they have a lot of bodies in the defense or most times nobody is there. When that cross came in, Foster just tapped into an open post. That goal was scored in the 55th minute. Immediately that goal was scored. 2 minutes later, Alta Bayinda found, how can I remember? I think it was, no, it was David Dalot that took the ball. Alta Bayinda found, who was it? I forgot the Man United player with a long pass to the edge of the 18-yard box on the left-hand side. And then this guy flipped the ball on back to Diogo Dalot. Yes, it was Zegzi. Zegzi, just who is this guy that reminded me was Zegzi? Biko Omenye 1,500 naira. Thank you very much. It was Joshua Zegzi. Please tell me your name. Kahe Luchaloge. It was Zegzi. Zegzi Nukwisi. Obuisi Zegzi was the one that flicked the ball backwards like that. And then Diogo Dalot collected the ball. The way Dalot moved there, I was like, is this Lionel Messi? The way he moved, cutting the ball for Bryan Mbeumo. And then Mbeumo scored his first goal at Old Trafford. As soon as he scored this goal, everywhere went. Meanwhile, the Zegzi came in because Matis Kuna got an injury, which is what I don't understand. Many players are getting injured right now. They're getting injuries. I don't know why. Sustaining injuries here and there. You know, there was an injury in the Arsenal game. There was an injury in the Man United game. There was an injury in a few games we saw last weekend. And these injuries are not looking good. Even Ryan Cherki got injured for Manchester City. He'll be out for 2 months. So Matis Kuna is injured. Zegzi was in the build-up to that goal. And then Bryan Mbeumo scored. And then shortly after that, Jadon Anthony scored for what's it called? Burnley to make it 2-2. And then this game was 2-2. And everybody was like, will Man United draw this game again? Will Man United draw this game until the 95th minute? Amad Diallo got the ball from the right-hand side on the edge of the 18-yard box. Took on the defender, gave Bruno Fernandes the ball for a 1-2. As soon as he gave Bruno Fernandes the ball, just at the back, in front of that 18-yard box, he ran in. But then the Burnley defender saw that the move had already beaten him. If Bruno Fernandes had brought in that ball, it would have been 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. So the guy pulled his jersey. Now, Dochaliaka, not jersey. And then he took the bait and fell. And the referee overlooked it. He shouted to the referee, please, involve the VAR. The VAR told the referee to go and check his monitor. He checked his monitor. Lo and behold, he came out and announced that this guy's jersey was pulled. And then a penalty came up. On the 57th minute, it can only take a man with I don't know what to call it, with some heart, very brave human being to stand there, take that penalty and convert in front of more than 70,000 human beings at Old Trafford, with more than 500 million Man United fans watching from all over the world. Last kick of the game, it was Bruno Fernandes. He beat the goalkeeper beautifully, ran to the corner flank, put his 2 hands to his ears, the way he celebrates, knelt down in front of the fan base. Old Trafford, Bobby Ebo, I'm telling you. The commentator was shouting on top of his voices. Women and children were jumping. Everybody just went haywire. And then came out on social media shortly after that. Oh, you're celebrating a win against Burnley. Oh, well, my dear brother, cut them some slack. Give them their flowers. That was the last kick of the game. If Bruno had not converted that penalty, they would have drawn that game. Then the banter would have just continued. Ladies and gentlemen, Man United have 4 points as I speak to you right now. Manchester City have 3 points from 3 games. Wow. The next one, New Chelsea. Oh, New Chelsea. I said it on Friday. If you know the history between these two clubs, you will know that this is a game no Chelsea fan wants to lose. No real Chelsea fan wants to lose. These two clubs are too close. Look at Stamford Bridge. Look at Craven Cottage. These two clubs are the closest rivals. I don't know how to put it. Honestly, the last time Fulham beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge before last season was in 1979, on the 27th of October 1979, which was why when they won Chelsea 2-1 at Stamford Bridge last season in December, many Chelsea fans called for the head of Enzo Maresca. Fast forward to this game. Oh yes. Fast forward to this game. Chelsea versus Fulham. Wow. There was once again no Cole Palmer in the starting 11. Oh, no Cole Palmer in the starting 11. It was Robert Sanchez in goal, Malo Guzzo right back, left back Marco Kurela, Trevor Chalobah, Tosi Adebayo, central defenders, defensive midfielder, the usual suspect Moses Caicedo, central midfielder Enzo Fernandez, the creative guy João Pedro. Left hand side was Pedro Neto, right hand side is Tavio William, and Liam Delap was the out and out striker. And guess what? 14 minutes into that game, Liam Delap got injured. Derek George replaced him. And then Chelsea started what was a very dull game at the beginning of that game. In fact, the first half, Chelsea were very disappointed. Very, very. On the 21st minute, what's his name? Rodrigo Muniz. Am I correct? Okay, let me see. Yes, it was Rodrigo Muniz. On the 21st minute, Rodrigo Muniz, on the center field, but in his own half, tried to climb over the ball. You know that Zinedine Zidane move of climbing over the ball to beat a player. In the process of climbing over the ball, his leg stepped on Trevor Chalobah. Trevor fell down. But then, referee allowed play to go on. Rodrigo Muniz found Joshua King. Joshua King ran all the way to the Chelsea 18-yard box and beat the goalkeeper. And then they reviewed the game and said there was foul in the build-up to the goal. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak to you right now, the PGMOL have apologized to Fulham. They said they got that decision wrong. Oh, they have apologized to Fulham. Chelsea got away with, in fact, honestly, if you're a Chelsea fan, be very, yes, you scored 2 goals in the second half. But if this goal was allowed to stand, it would have helped Fulham build the momentum in that game because they were very much in the game in the first half. The Professional Game Match Officials Limited, PGMOL, have acknowledged the decision to rule out that goal was an error. And the incident did not meet the high bar for intervention as a clear and obvious error. That's their report. In fact, the guy that made this known to newsmen was Howard Webb. Yes, the PGMO released an official report, but Howard Webb contacted Fulham to communicate the verdict. He was the one that contacted Fulham. He said, please, see you, pardon us. Manu na-enwere ego na Chelsea nwere ego wee nye anyị aka azụ. What do you expect us to do? That halftime, just before the halftime whistle, or the 48 minutes, because there was extra time, corner kick came. Enzo Fernandez took a corner kick from the left-hand side. And João Pedro scored his 7th goal in his last 8 games for Chelsea. That guy is now a walking, talking goal-scoring statistics since he came to Chelsea. Add his goals in the FIFA Club World Cup to now. That's 7 in his last 8 games. Awesome. By second half, ladies and gentlemen, a penalty was awarded for a handball. And Enzo Fernandez stepped up, took that penalty. That was how Chelsea won that game. Kudos to Chelsea fans. We're going to be celebrating you on the show. Oh, yes. Chelsea beat Fulham 2-0. It is nothing new. Chelsea loves to beat Fulham. I'm telling you, take away last season. Take away last season. Fulham have beaten Chelsea just 2 times since 1979. So Chelsea owns Fulham, whether you like it or not. And finally, Arsenal versus Liverpool. Finally, Arsenal versus Liverpool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, this game did not live up to the hype. I'm telling you, it was a very boring game. The two teams did not impress me at all. Kudos to Liverpool for the win. But then, shame on Mikel Arteta for his approach going into this game. Mikel Arteta chose to go in with an approach of don't concede. Let's get a draw. Let's be unambitious. Let's not even attack. But if there is a way we can maybe get a set piece and then score, so be it. But let's not concede. Very bad. I'll start with the Liverpool lineup. Alisson in goal. Dominic Szoboszlai was their right back. Dominic Szoboszlai. So far, he's the best player in the Premier League. You know, a lot of people have forgotten that in that game against Newcastle United, that goal, everybody shouting that Rion Gumo has scored. He was actually the one that stepped over the ball. His name was not on the assist book, but he was actually the one that made that go up. If he was greedy to trap that ball there or try to take a shot, Liverpool would have drawn that game. Oh, yes. And I think he scored in the first game against AFC Bournemouth. That guy has been super awesome. He was the right back in this game. Left back was Milos Kerkez. Please follow me. I have something to say about this game. Central defenders, Ibrahima Konata and Virgil van Dijk. Defensive midfielder, Ryan Gravenberch. Central midfielder, Alexis McAllister. Attacking midfielder, Florian Wirtz. On the left-hand side of the attack, Cody Gakpo. Right-hand side, Mohamed Salah. Hugo Ekitike, the out-and-out strike. This is a team that came out to win their game in their own home. Unfortunately, they don't have a right back. So Dominic Szoboszlai had to play there. Conor Bradley is still not available. Kambiakwa for Arsenal. Listen. David Raya in goal. Right back, Ricardo Calafiori. Left back, Julian Timber. Central defenders, Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. The 3-man midfield. Martin Zubimendi, complete defensive midfielder. Declan Rice, defensive midfielder stroke central midfielder. Mikel Merino, central midfielder stroke defensive midfielder. No creative midfielder whatsoever. A Martin Odegaard was on the bench. Ebere Chieze was on the bench. Even Ethan Nwaneri, who is a number 10, was on the bench. No creativity at all. And then in the attack, Gabriel Martinelli on the left-hand side. Noni Madueke on the right-hand side. Vito Gyökeres as the out-and-out striker. What happened? Liverpool, like I said, were not in their best. In fact, the first half of that game, Liverpool offered nothing, little or nothing. They were there for the taking. Honestly, I'm not talking down Liverpool. I'm just telling you the truth. Arsenal refused to be creative in the middle of the park, so they offered nothing too going forward. How can you tell me that a Dominic Szoboszlai, who is an attacking fan, throughout the 38 games of last season he played attacking midfield? Because Alexis McAllister was a central midfielder. How can you tell me that Dominic Szoboszlai played the right back and Gabriel Martinelli could not beat him once? Once. Am I surprised? No, I am not surprised. I'm only surprised on the right-hand side. Now, I put this post up on my Facebook page, and many people misunderstood me. On Facebook, you have a lot of people, so I cannot answer everybody one after the other. But then I think I can say what I want to say now. I am disappointed with Noni Madueke, who everybody has given the Arsenal best player. Let me tell you why. Noni Madueke got the ball more than any other attacking player. You know why? The Arsenal attack goes through the right. It does. They don't have a good player on the left in Gabriel Martinelli. So why build from the left? I was listening to a pundit say, oh, but Gabriel Martinelli should beat Dominic. He didn't beat Dominic. He didn't do nothing against Dominic Szoboszlai. The only person trying to do anything creative-wise was Noni Madueke. So 70% of the passes or more went to Noni Madueke. Now, Noni Madueke could not beat Milos Kekes. Big up to Milos Kekes. After all, now today, last season, he was best left back in the Premier League on a lot of people's books, right? We talked about it here. Some of us gave it to Moses Caicedo, but Asim Caicedo, Kadafa, this Chelsea left back, Cucurella. But I said it here that a lot of people, so many pundits gave him their best. Even the PFA team of the year is Milos Kekes. But since he came to Liverpool, he's been a shadow of his former self. He has not been that Milos Kekes. Yes, maybe the manager cautioned him after his bad performance against Newcastle United because he was very poor. This guy, Bruno Guimaraes, messed him up to score the goal he scored to pull one back for Newcastle United against Liverpool. I expected Noni, who was getting all the passes, because the expectation was so high for Noni, to at least beat Milos Kekes once. The only time he got past Milos Kekes was because the pass was in behind Milos Kekes. You understand? It was not because he beat him 1v1. No, not once. That's why I said Noni was supposed to do better. And then everybody is like, what about Victor Gyökeres? What about Victor Gyökeres? Victor Gyökeres is not that kind of striker who can function without service. Put Erling Haaland in your team. That goal Erling Haaland scored was his 88th goal in his last 100 Premier League, because that was his 100 Premier League game. That game against Brighton was his 100 Premier League game. 88 goals in his last 100. Nobody has that goal per game ratio in the history of the Premier League, including Alan Shearer. Oh yes. Nobody. But without service, Erling Haaland is a vegetable. Simple. Simple. But look at his numbers. Super massive. Victor Gyökeres is that kind of guy. Without service on what you gave him, the manager was so annoying not to play a creative midfield. I don't know why. So what do you want the striker to do? Then the non-Madueke, who got like 70-75% of the passes, did not give him one cross, did not link up with him, did not give him one pass. All he kept doing was 1v1 against Milos Kekes because he has quick feet. He will try to throw his 2 legs over the ball, try to do a lot of things. Maybe the thing he wants to do is in his head, but cannot transcend down to his legs. And then he kept winning corner kicks. He'll patch it on Milos Kekes or Poa corner. Ejakwa corner. Arsenal Makokwa. Or patch also or Poa corner. Yes, he took the only Arsenal shot on target in the game. Why? It was a corner kick that fell to him. If you have fallen to anybody, the person would have still taken the shot. That's why I said, Noni, I expected more from Noni. Noni used to be a very good dribbler. Beat Milos Kekes once and blast the ball. Even the one that went in behind Milos Kekes, he ran 1v1. He ran with the ball. Milos Kekes still recovered. It became a 1v1. He got to his left, took a shot. Milos Kekes bent his leg, and the ball went away for corner kick again. I wrote something that people misunderstood me. I said if it was Bukayo Saka, if he was a top from Bukayo Saka, he would have beaten Milos Kekes at least once. I am very sure. Now people were like, all the time Bukayo Saka came to Anfield. What did he do? The Arsenal have never won there since 2012. I know, I said it on Friday. The last time Arsenal won there, Mikel Arteta was in that midfield. Arsenal versus Liverpool, I know. Very, very well. Mikel Arteta was in that midfield. He was there with, it was Abu Dhabi, Mikel Arteta, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Santi Cazorla. Olivier Giroud was the out-and-out striker. Lucas Podolski was the supporting striker. I remember. I know. But you see this game I watched, Liverpool could do better. In fact, if Liverpool get 50%, they would have beaten Arsenal 4-0. Mo Salah was off his game. Florian Wirtz take away that shot he took that resulted to a goal that was cancelled. Didn't know what he was doing in the midfield. So many things. Cody Gakpo was just taking 30-yard shot, 25-yard shot. They couldn't break down the defense. Lots of Liverpool they were strong. Otua in this game, but Arsenal did nothing. Why did you give him a contract extension? Why? Why did you give him a contract when you know you're not going to play him? Even Trossard will do better on that left-hand side against Dominic Szoboszlai, a makeshift number 10. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am not taking anything away from Liverpool. I just want to tell you that Arsenal offered nothing. In fact, the time Arsenal started playing was from the 71st minute when they brought in Martin Odegaard and Eberechi. And then later they brought in Max Dorman. That was when they started at and Liverpool went back. Because at that time, the damage was already done. What happened? Exactly on the 83rd minute, Arsenal considered a free kick from 30 yards. A lot of Liverpool players clustered there to take that free kick. At the end of the deliberation, they left it for Dominic Szoboszlai. I didn't even know he could do it. And then time stood still at Anfield. One of the most electrifying stadiums in the world. I did not say in the Premier League. I did not say in the United Kingdom. I said in the entire world. Those guys, their fan base are top. These guys make you feel the game. The time stood, everywhere was dead. As if they knew something was going to happen. From 30 yards. Then Dominic Szoboszlai took that free kick in a way that the two best goalkeepers in the world, if they were standing in that post, they would still not get it. It was on the left-hand side roof of the net, the junction between the bar and the post, hit the post last angle. David Raya didn't know what hit him. He ran to the Liverpool fans, celebrated the way he did, and then flicked his fingers for them, and all of them started flicking their fingers. Super performance from the Mixable Slide. Super performance from Liverpool. Awesome performance from the league champions. And of course, the jinx continues. Arsenal have never won a game at Anfield. The last time they did that was on the 2nd of September 2012. And this season will come and go without a win in the Premier League for Arsenal at Anfield.
1 o'clock and corner.
Meanwhile, bad news for Arsenal. William Saliba got injured in this game. William Saliba picked up an injury in this game. Early in the just 5 minutes into the game, William Saliba left. And as soon as he left, who was the guy that came in? Christian Mosquera came in. He did very well. You know, nobody missed William Saliba, but the truth is, if he doesn't return early enough, there'll come a time when Arsenal will miss him, because he's Arsenal's best defender. Honestly, since the last 3 years. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Lots and lots of moves are still happening. We'll bring you up to speed as everything unfolds.
Yes, so your boy Samuel Peace. DSB Music.
All right, Harvey Elliott is going to Aston Villa. That's the latest one. Harvey Elliott is going to Aston Villa. They've had a verbal agreement of £35 million fee. And of course, he's actually going on loan, but then there is an obligation to sign, obligation to sign for Harvey Elliott. And of course, Anthony Ndaboski is going to Real Betis. Anthony Ndaboski of Manchester United, 22 million euros plus 3 million euros fee. For a guy Man United signed for 75 million euros. What a loss. But at least it's better that he leaves, honestly. And Man United will have 50% sell-on clause on profit for future sale. That's if Real Betis sells him, Man United will get 50% from whatever they sell him for. And of course, so many deals are happening right now. So many deals. Okay, let me see. Yoana Wissa to Newcastle United. Yoana Wissa to Newcastle United. Remember, this was the deal that was delaying the Alexander Isak's move to Liverpool all this while. He's going for £55 million. £55 million to Newcastle United. And of course, Emiliano Martinez from Aston Villa to Galatasaray. Aston Villa to Galatasaray. Indeed, things are happening this afternoon. And from now till 3 p.m., we'll continue to tell you how it's going down in the transfer window. Don't forget, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, the transfer window will close. Big time. Big ups to all the winners last weekend. Real Madrid won. Liverpool won a very difficult game. Big ups to the Reg. And of course, Man United won. Chelsea won. We're going to be playing your anthems. Awesome. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me on Facebook. Very, very important. The page is Huge Man Page. Huge Man Page. Search for that page on Facebook. It is the one with 99,000 followers. Please make sure you're following the right one. 99,000. Huge Man spells H-U-G-E for huge. M-A-N for man. P-A-G-E for page. The one with 99,000 followers is the right one. I've seen a lot of Huge Man Page. One of them actually inboxed me last weekend. And I'm like, you're using my picture, you're using my name. Why are you doing that? He didn't reply. Had to block him. So please be careful. You know, let nobody dupe you. And what they do is, whatever I post, they post. So that's very dangerous. If I post the charity program, they post. So if you see some of these guys, they put up their account number, make sure you get them and please arrest them, because these guys are doing something very bad. Honestly, it is what it is. But please follow the right one, Huge Man Page, the one with 99,000 followers. Once you get there, please start following the page. Scroll down, see the live stream. Go to the comment section. Tell us your name, the football club you're supporting, your location, and of course, tell us whatever it is you want to talk about. If you have a question regarding the transfer moves, I'll be ready to bring you answers. And then, if you maybe have reservations So anything I said, please feel free to bring it up here. You know, I always take corrections. And then if you want to talk about any of the games played last weekend, I'll appreciate it if you do that. And I'll be reading as many comments as I can. If you want your voices here, please hit me up on 090-3594-4777. Please, the number 090-3594-4777. My name is Ifani Orakwe, the hugest man alive. I am the walking, talking soccer statistics. I reported for duty since 1 p.m. And Bishop, I'm going to be here with you till 3. Please hang in there. Don't touch your dial.
Huge man, now what's it going on? First of all, something that FM would die. They are 9, they are 5, yes, they are much better. I'm a big you get some to me, drop what you go up for. When I was made, I did already. That's a huge man, they shut up in the truck, shut up in the body. Check close to your radio when you got with the loudest voice. I'm not moving in my name over now, but it's when I should go up with a huge man with the body. Programs, they are not dumb. Just they are not dumb. Someone on a station, Bobby, I'm in our bum. My team can Emily, can Emily, look at that, but I'm going to take it. In the bottle of I know I used to not make it in the bottle that you will not get you will need to go up. Make a message in a session. I don't know about the jail, I don't know the mind of my own. Let me name, this man, I can get
All right, let me take some of the comments here. Lots of comments. Okay, let me see who's the first person here. My system is usually taking so long to load. All right, I'm here finally. I see Okonkwo Francis. He said, good afternoon to you, Hughie. I'm Okonkwo Francis from Victoria, Liverpool, who played nothing in that first half. That's how champions win their matches. Play ugly when it gets hard. Said West Ham and Brighton did well. Said welcome home, Isakaba. That's talking about Alexander Isak. He called him Isakaba. Said Liverpool fans all around the world are saying he never walk alone. Oh yes, Isak is in town. If you're a Liverpool fan, rejoice. Emmanuel Mwigwe said, good afternoon to you, sir. I am a Chelsea fan watching live from Kogi State. Said Chelsea still need 10 because they are lacking creativity. Okay, Kopama will be back soon. I think your men want to play Kopama there. Why? Because they signed Alejandro Garnacho instead of a number 10. This person just brought in a report. Here we go. Inter Milan agreed deal to sign Manuel Akanji from Manchester City on initial loan deal. Thank you very much. Boss Mazzino said, good afternoon to you, Mr. Hugman. I'm Mazzino, watching live from Kwale. In my United fan, I'm extremely happy. We won our game last weekend. Thanks to Buma and Bruno Fernandes for the transfer going on. I want my club to sign one defensive midfielder. You actually need a central midfielder because Manuel Ugarte is a defensive midfielder. Casemiro is a defensive midfielder. You need a very, very pacey number 8. He said, I want my club. Okay, so Eric Ten Hag should go and hot tomatoes and potatoes somewhere. Okay, they've sacked him. He's no longer the Leverkusen manager. Julian Nesta Wasa said, good afternoon to you, Sir Hughie. I am Andre Chinedu, the Chelsea fan from Inoma, but I'm live right now in Ibokeni. He said, kudos to all the lucky winners last weekend. Cristobal Mudioka, the Manchester City fan. He said, I'm Emmanuel from Umudioka. One day Pep Guardiola said, "Youth man, it's high time Pep packs his bags and go." Said, I'm tired. Look at Man United topping us on the league table. Said he should just respect himself and leave. Said, buying from a PSG keeper is not our problem. Our problem is Pep Guardiola. And too much passing is spoiling our game, including our defense. He should leave instead. Said Crystal Palace coach should take over Manchester City. Coming from a Man City fan, wow. Have you forgotten what Pep did for you guys? Quality standards. That is Chisom Mo Salah reporting live from Abuja. Said, what a time to be a Liverpool fan. Copied forever. Said, imagine us now. Chelsea and Man City and even Man United fans that slept with anger over Liverpool's 1-0 win against Arsenal yesterday. Now waking up to the news that Isak has joined Liverpool as well. Wow. Said, with Gueye on the way, Maguire on the way. He said, the pains will be too much to bear. He said, in the darkest side of this life, may you never walk alone. All the way from Abuja, Chisom Mo Salah, I celebrate you. He ended by saying, in the darkest side of this life, may you never walk alone. All right, I see lots of guys here. Michael said, good afternoon to you. I'm Michael Amobi, a Chelsea fan watching live from Obosi. Said, please, we don't need Jackson anymore. Well, he's negotiating with Bayern Munich. Sorry, you actually need Jackson. Lam Delap is injured. Maguire is not really a good striker, right? I think what you need is Kopama to just come back. So yeah, Pedro can go forward. Ifan Yobina said, good afternoon to you, Sir Hughie. I'm a Liverpool fan watching live from Powerline Asaba. I'm glad we came out with 3 points. It was a very tough match for the boys. Said, welcome home. Alex Isak, you will never walk alone. Reverend Peter Onisimachuku from St. Michael's Anglican Church of Saba, Delta State. He said he's a Liverpool fan. Said, we are moving and no one will stop us. Said, greetings from a Saba, great man. We love you. Oh yes, Reverend, you never walk alone, sir. What about you, Mavin? He said, good afternoon to you, sir. He said Arsenal manager needs to be sacked if he doesn't win the Premier League this season or any meaningful trophy. Said he's an Arsenal fan. We have endured so much. The truth is that your manager is beginning to get on everybody's nerves. Is he a good manager? Yes. Has he done well in the last 3 years at least? Yes. But some of his decisions are just very, very rubbish. How can you go to Anfield without creativity at all? What do you want to happen? What? Well, I don't know. And meanwhile, remember the game against Man United was not also very good. The only good game I saw I've played this season is the game against Leeds United. Honestly, the game against Man United, take away that Alterbinder's error, Arsenal would have drawn that game. And then we'll be talking about 4 points. No. Yeah. They lost this one. Yes, we'll be talking about, instead of 6, 4 points. You can imagine. And of course, let's continue because we must continue. Meso Boy said, kudos boss, okay. Said he's watching live from Omaba, he's a Chelsea fan. Said, please sign goalkeeper. Okay, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to celebrate clubs that won. Oh, it's time to say, sorry, the phone line is buzzing, but we don't have the time anymore. Don't worry, tomorrow we're going to take so many calls. But right now, let's celebrate clubs before it is too late. I don't know where I'm going to start from. Okay, let me start from Liverpool. They did very, very well. They beat Arsenal at Anfield. Again, if you're a Liverpool fan, ladies and gentlemen, rise and be celebrated.